on tight, the sun will rise again, and there's only brighter days ahead. So when you've been betting red and it's been black all night, and you don't
right, we're live.
see a
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Doughnut. Federal Ave, what a great band.
Killer band.
Yeah, we're going to learn a little bit more about them later on in today's episode, but we have a really big episode for you today. We're going to be featuring my friend Danilo Castillo, Tommy Harkey, and after that, Lex Archibald. Let's start with today's top stories. New York, the governor, Andrew Cuomo, he issued a major disaster declaration. What is a major disaster declaration, Garrett?
A major disaster declaration is issued from a presidential administration during a time of crisis. In this case, it was issued to the state of New York to release FEMA funds from the disaster relief budget. Now, what that does is that it opens up $42 billion in vital aid to help fight the coronavirus. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer stated, "With no time to waste, the administration heeded the call and approved the nation's first major disaster declaration in response to the coronavirus, right here in New York." Now, the reason why New York is getting this, is the first state to receive this, is because right now they're at the epicenter of the coronavirus. They're expecting to see a surge in cases, and they are afraid they're going to be running out of beds and running out of ventilators.
Yeah, and Andrew commented on that saying, yes, we have a problem. Yes, we will deal with it. And yes, we will overcome it. But that's where we don't want to get to here in California. That's why we're taking these precautions. Now, not just the governor of New York, but Donald Trump and everyone is going to have to get really creative and really aggressive in order to fix this problematic concern. We're channeling our energy towards New York is just because they're one of the first people that have seen this virus come through, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So as we move forward, today at the Oval Office, Donald Trump, he released that, New York's in a major disaster, but he repeated a lot of stuff about student loans. One thing that he did note, which is more positive side, is that Hanes, the cotton tycoon, is going to issue millions of masks into our medical society, our medical field. Mike Pence kind of took over the stage from there. He reminded us that we are on the 6th day of a 15-day period where we're trying to slow the spread. Just so happens we're on our 6th episode.
There's no accidents in the universe.
Yeah. So another thing that we wanted to note, a member of Mike Pence's task force tested positive for coronavirus. So he possibly could have come in contact with that. He's saying that he never was in close contact, but him and his wife are going to be tested this afternoon. So we'll have those results. Let's talk really quick about the Democratic side of this. Bernie is saying that the proposal to the bailout, the disaster relief funds for all Americans, is just going to be pretty much helping the rich. He's kind of said that it's not helpful for the majority of America. It's interesting because Bernie was the one a week ago who kind of had this State of the Union address and then followed up by Donald Trump having these press conferences every morning, where before Trump was saying it wasn't that big of an issue. Now there's a lot of understanding this is an issue. Bernie raised $2 million in donations for corona relief just last night during his live presence. And he wanted to reiterate over and over again that every worker needs paid family medical leave. The government can do it, and we must demand the support of our government to receive that support. Yeah, a lot of facts coming out.
A lot of stuff coming out. And I think it is important to note, too, that whoever you are and however you're being affected, if what you're receiving is not enough, the most important thing you can do is to contact your local representative and your state senators and let them know how you feel. The more they hear from the voters themselves, the more likely change is going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And we really want to be a voice here. So if you do have opinions on what we're saying or what other people are saying, throw a comment, let us know so we can respond to that. But with that being said, let's get it over to the facts and stats that you have prepared for us. Garrett, what's going on today?
So what's going on today? The world and the U.S. stats again is coming from Johns Hopkins University Coronavirus Tracker. The California stats are from the Department of Health in California, and the San Diego stats are from the San Diego Department of Health. So let's first go with the world. Right now we're seeing 303,180 cases, 12,950 deaths, and 91,676 recovered. So people are recovering. That's good news. In the U.S., we saw a big surge in these past few days. We're at 24,148, 285 deaths, and 171 have recovered. In California, we're at 1,224 cases, 23 deaths, and still no one has recovered. In San Diego, we're at 131 cases. There's been no deaths, but there's also been no one recovered here in San Diego.
Wow. So we just see those numbers starting to climb as we start to prepare ourselves in California, just reiterating that as we are on a lockdown, if you are going outside, you got to understand these social distancing measures are put in place for the safety. And we're starting to see our friends really understand that, and that's so good.
And one thing to understand too is that there was about 6,000 cases since yesterday that have been confirmed. But it doesn't mean that they were just sick and contagious yesterday. You have to trace that back from the time they contracted the virus when they were healthy. So although that was 6,000 today, before they were in quarantine, if they weren't following these social distancing guidelines, if they were going out, they were spreading that, which is why we have to isolate ourselves. We have to stay away from other people and respect what we need to do now to bend the curve.
Yeah, in a future episode, we're actually going to compare the common flu to the coronavirus. So that's going to provide a lot more information on some of those subjects that people might be a little bit wary about and wonder why there is the cause for alarm.
Yeah.
So that's going to be coming up here. You know, yesterday we were in kind of a gratitude episode where we were thinking, and I think we missed a really big group. We forgot those workers that are out there, our migrant population here, not just in California, but worldwide, and then globally. I have done a little bit of humanitarian aid down in Tijuana. One of my friends, Danilo Castillo, he has developed an application that provides migrants with the services when they arrive in Tijuana. It's a really cool deal. And me and him, we became good friends as we were volunteering down at Al Otro Lado, which is a really cool place. Shout out to the AOL family. They actually help migrants obtain free legal services. So we're going to take it over to my friend Danilo Castillo, and he's going to give us a little bit information about how the coronavirus is affecting our migrant population. Danilo, are you there?
Matthew, Garrett, and everybody who's tuned in to Beyond the Doughnut. My name's Danilo Castillo. Today I will be talking about farm workers and migrants here in the Central Valley and how coronavirus and COVID-19 is affecting them. My name is once again Danilo Castillo. I'm co-creator of Migrimap. It's a humanitarian aid guide that we're working on to establish in the Tijuana area near the border of San Diego. It's for migrants, asylum seekers, and deportees. It'll show them where all the shelters, medical places, legal aid, and food pantry, soup kitchens areas will be available. Feel free to follow us on our Facebook and on our Instagram, MIGRIMAP. Let's jump into it. The reason that I'll be talking about, I'm checking out my computer here. The reason that I'll be talking about the migrant and farm workers here in the Valley is because a lot of them I actually take to their immigration court proceedings in the Bay Area. Now, after speaking to two of them today, what they're telling me is that they're not being properly educated on the coronavirus, COVID-19, and a lot of the farm workers are not being educated either on unemployment options, as historically migrants, undocumented, and people in court proceedings seeking legal status here in the United States, they don't have access to these services anyways, which is some are healthcare, some are food, food benefits or assistance, and other things like unemployment, right? Because they don't have a social security or they don't have a legal status. So that's traditional, right? So with the COVID-19 coronavirus, it only adds extra stress. Top it off, I'm gonna jump into something else that just happened, which was on the 24th of February, which is a public charge. So I'm gonna break down what public charge is very briefly because this is sort of new to me as well. The new public charge rule went into effect on the 24th of last month of this year. It made certain government assistance programs and other factors eligible criteria for denying immigrants visa extensions or a green card. Okay, so think about it. A lot of the food that you get on your tables today, it comes from the Central Valley, from San Joaquin Valley here in California. And it only comes to you because somebody works these fields. Somebody harvests these fields. Somebody plants these seeds, waters them, all that good stuff, right? This is fruit, veggies, even cotton is grown here in the valley. Specifically, I'm talking about Fresno area and its rural towns. So with this coronavirus, COVID-19 situation going on, they're less likely to seek out medical attention because of the public charge, and they're less likely to receive any type of funding if they are laid off due to staying at home. The other key point is that farm workers are labeled as essential, but they can't receive any of the benefits. So I'm bringing this to attention, not to there's a term that they use, not to be alarming, but to bring attention, right? That there's people within the United States who are facing bigger obstacles, right? Now, here in the Valley, there's an organization named California Farm Workers Foundation, and what they're doing is they're increasing food distributions to combat food insecurity in farm working communities. They're creating an emergency fund to provide relief to farm workers, provide virtual medical consultations for farm workers who suffer from chronic diseases and respiratory illnesses, amongst other things, right? So they are providing solutions. Oops, I spit there. The other thing is telecommute is not an option because a lot of the work is done outdoors, right? Now, to finish this off and put a good end to this story is that thanks to tireless efforts from leaders like Pramila Jayapal, I hope I pronounced that correctly, USCIS has announced that COVID-19 testing, treatment, and prevention care, including vaccines if a vaccine becomes available related to COVID-19, would not be used against immigrants in public charge and admissibility determination, even if the healthcare services are covered by Medicaid. Immigrants can continue to access services at community health centers regardless of their immigration status and at a reduced cost or free of charge, depending on their income. However, people should call first to find out the availability of COVID-19 screening and testing. Health centers may do patient assessments over the phone or using telehealth. I hope that helps out, and I hope I covered everything. I'll be passing some links over to Matt here, and thanks everyone. Stay safe out there, spiritually, mentally, and physically, obviously. Glad to be here, and hope to see you guys soon, or you guys see me.
All right, thank you, Danilo. Yeah, we go to sometimes the experts in these situations because we don't want to lead people astray. We want to get the best factual, evidence. So when we're coming up with that, we want also people to be spreading that evidence to us through the comments and asking us questions so that we can respond to those. How can people start to kind of eliminate some of this misinformation? Because there is a lot. And just me and you researching this, we found a lot. Now having other people help us research, there is so much information, Garrett.
Yeah, there's a lot of information out there, and a lot of it is incorrect. And we'll go over a couple of those things briefly in a little bit. But one of the methods I use when I'm doing research to make sure it's authentic and I can verify it is I use the who, what, where, when, and why. So who is writing it? If there's no author in whatever it is you've received, I'd scrap it right away. If someone's not willing to put their name on it, I'm gonna bet the information provided is not correct. On the what, okay? What are they writing about? What is the topic? Okay? What is the audience they're trying to address? On the next one, it's the where. Where did it come from? Okay, so is this coming from a major news source? Is this coming from an independent writer? Or is this coming from a university? Because if somebody is, going back to that author, if it's the author of a study, they're going to be directly talking about the results that they found. Versus if you find something about a study, it's the news reporter that's writing their thoughts about what was presented. And then when is it written? You know, if you look at the date and it's way before the coronavirus happened, it's not going to be correct. That one's kind of obvious. Or if, you know, for other sources too, if they're quoting sources from, 2016, well, that's going to take a little bit extra investigative work because it's probably not correct. And then most importantly, why are they posting it? Is it to inform someone, or is it to sell a product or to sell an idea? What is the motive behind them doing it? If you follow that each time you come across something, it's going to be pretty easy to tell which is legitimate and which is not. And if you're on the fence with it, you're not really quite sure, it's probably not worth sharing, so find something more legitimate. With that being said, one of the things I'm seeing right now that's become really popular is the idea that if you go in a sauna, which are usually about 180 degrees, that it will kill the coronavirus if you're infected. Because they're claiming that if you breathe in 180 degree air, it kills the virus. Now, it's just no. The problem is that when you're in a sauna, you're not breathing in 180 degree air. It circulates, and by the time it gets in your lungs, it's much cooler. If you were to breathe in 180 degree air, especially over and over, you would either have permanent lung damage or die, because your lungs can't handle that temperature internally. That's why they're inside of us. They're protected.
Yeah, a lot of misinformation is being spread. I've also, we received that from one of my friends earlier this week on Instagram, is there's a lot of different understanding of how to get rid of this virus. Everybody wants to jump on what is going to be the solution. I can't blame them. As I start to see people want to raise their vibration towards this pandemic, I see that they're trying to create a solution. But we really want to make sure that we aren't just going into gray areas every time that we're listing a solution. That's why here on Beyond the Doughnut, we're going with the CDC, we're going with the White House. There's probably some information out there that we're missing, but until it's the facts, then we're not going to report on that. We're not going to just come at you with our advice. That's why we have our guests, so that we can bring in their opinions. And we've got such a great opinion from my friend Lex Archibald. I met her at a local yoga studio.
Cool.
Eat, love, pray, yoga, or pray. It's
one of those.
One of those. Eat, love, pray.
We're gonna put it on the screen just to be right.
Yeah, no, the acronym is PLAY, and it's peace, love, and yoga. So, Lex Archibald, you're a high school teacher. How is this affecting you, and what's going on as you raise your little one? We'd love to hear your opinion.
Hey Matt, hey Garrett, hey everybody. This is Lex and May here, giving you an update from our home. We are all hanging in there. I am trying to look at this in a great way because I get to spend time with this little bean bug, although I wish it was under different circumstances. I am a metalsmithing high school art teacher, and so I was going to give you guys a little update about the perspective of a teacher. Most schools are out. Well, all schools are out now. We've been out since last Friday, so a little bit over a week. And some schools around here are requiring online courses that are graded, and they're continuing their education. And some schools are having optional enrichment activities and assignments because some students have no access to internet and therefore cannot access the materials, so it's ungraded. That is the school that I fall under. I work at Mission Hills High School, and great community there. They're still having lunches from 11 to 1 for kids for free, and I think a lot of San Diego schools and all around here are doing that as well. The cool thing that I think is happening here is all of the teachers online collaborating. They're sharing their wisdom, they're sharing activities, they're sharing resources, and we're all coming together as a collective, and it's making it a little bit easier for teachers to get resources and put up work so that their kids, their students, have access and can continue to enrich themselves and not be so bored and lonely, which is one of my biggest fears about my kids. So it also is really helpful because I have a little tiny tot running around, and the only time I can really wrap my head around creating art lessons is when she's taking a nap, which a toddler that's 14 months, not too long. So many of the activities I've borrowed from people and I've adapted, and some I've come up with on my own. And a lot of the activities that I'm coming up with are art-based, but also have this this quality to it that's kind of reacting and responding to the times that we're in right now, because I think that art in history tells a story through the lens of the maker. And so I'm really trying to teach my kids that and give them power, that they have the voice to express how they feel emotionally, intellectually, mentally, all these different ways. And then I'm trying to create art lessons that connect us to the community and teach empathy and compassion. So if anybody has ideas, reach out to me and I'll be happy to share yours. Other than that, like I said, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see the community coming together in the teacher realm, but also all over the city right now. I really see a lot of people reaching out to one another, following social distancing. Thank you very much. And thank you, Matt and Garrett, for doing this. I'm really enjoying all the videos that you're watching. So stay safe out there, everybody. Stay inside, get fresh air, and take care. Give your family a hug. Bye.
All right, thanks, Lex. We really appreciate it. Now, Matt, you said you wanted to go into something about Sam Hoover. He's one of our friends growing up.
Yeah, Sam Hoover. We went to high school with him, and he is an RN. And I think what he posted on Instagram last night was just so spot on. I asked if we could share this on tonight's episode, but Sam says, a breath of fresh air. Okay, because he's finally outside. He's finally taken that first inhalation because he's been indoors. The past week at work has quickly evolved into an environment where most hours of the day are spent in a respirator, gown, gloves, cap, and face shield in an attempt to protect ourselves. Social distancing, frequent hand washing, self-quarantine, and now a statewide stay-at-home order are a few things that people are learning to adjust to. My message to my friends and family would be to take this seriously. Please avoid non-essential interaction with others, especially the elderly and those with chronic medical problems. Please avoid the emergency department unless you have a true emergency. We have enough on our hands trying to help people that are sick and trying to keep others from getting sick in the environment we are in. Also, please stop hoarding all the teepee. I only have 3 rolls left and might have to start only pooping at work. Thanks, Sam. What epic little post, and we can see even our registered nurses are just taking all the precautions they can to not get themselves sick. The reason why me and Garrett started reporting this show was so that we could spread information to our friends to help them and their loved ones to not get sick. Now Sam is telling you as an RN, guys, help us out by social distancing yourself, by watching out for those who are most vulnerable to this illness. With that being said, anything you want to note, Garrett?
I think we're good.
Yeah. All right, moving forward, we have one more guest, and his name is Thomas Harkey. He's got his own kind of beliefs as he's moving forward throughout the Los Angeles County. He's going to give us some of his own opinion on what's going on up there in Los Angeles. Tommy, what's the latest?
All right. Hello. This is Tommy from Los Angeles. Thank you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate it. I just don't want to get hit by a car here. I'm outside, which is nice, walking around, but, keeping my distance from people. let's see. I think you might have just played the song Brighter Days Ahead by the band called Federal Ave. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's something that me and a few other guys started, and we just released our first single, so thanks for playing that. But yeah, just I think what you asked was what we're doing, like are we still creating music with everything going on? And yes, we are, because we're trapped inside, and I live with a couple of people that are in the band, so we're still making music, and really I'm just kind of trying to protect my lungs at this point, so I'm not going to say this is a cure by all means, but I'm trying to strengthen my lungs. So shout out Dr. Levry. What I've been doing is inhaling for 10 or 15, 20 seconds. Let's say 10 seconds. Inhale for 10 seconds, then hold it for 10 seconds, and then exhale for 10 seconds. And then you kind of just work your way up, and you want to, get it as high as you can. Like 20-second intervals would be great. And yeah, I've kind of just been doing a lot of breathing and, a lot of social distancing. So I guess that's it. Thank you again for having me on the show. Appreciate it, and stay safe out there.
All right. Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you, Tommy.
Yeah, and we're just reminding you guys as we have these friends come on, we're really grateful for all their opinions and for all their own personal experiences. Those were some interesting lung exercises to put our bodies through.
It could definitely be good for your lungs, that is for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Moving forward, Tommy has created an amazing band called Federal Ave, and they are spreading light in a way that I just am so stoked to appreciate. Now, we could see this song being almost like the anthem for the solution, and it's got a beautiful tune, it's got a beautiful message. Let's take it out with Federal Ave, and then after that we're gonna finish it up with another poem from our bud Chef Boogie Grow, Mount CORAZON. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in for another episode. We'll be back tomorrow. One last thing, Ryler's got it, he's on the game. So what's going on, Ryler, with this sweatshirt you got?
So this sweatshirt, if you subscribe and comment, you'll be getting this free sweatshirt. And there's only 42 chances left, so hurry up.
Yeah, so what Ryler was saying is we are trying to get 100 subscribers. If you subscribe and you're one of those first 100, we're going to take all those names, we're going to throw them in a hat, we're going to pick out a name. And if that person's name has commented on at least 4 of our videos at that current time that we pull that name, then we're going to send you that limited edition Berries and Cream sweatshirt. All you have to do is subscribe and comment on 4 videos. It's an easy thing. And yeah, you could win a very exclusive sweatshirt. Not a lot of people. You don't even have a Berries and Cream.
No, I just have a tank top.
Yeah, tank top. Yeah. So if you bought a Berries and Cream sweatshirt, Garrett, you better start subscribing and commenting.
Subscribing and start commenting on my own video.
All right. Here's Federal Avenue and Chef Boogie Grow to take us out.
We did?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
When the road is dark and there's no signs ahead to tell you where you're going or where you've been, just hang on tight, the sun will rise again, and there's only brighter days ahead. So when you've been betting red and it's been black all night, and you don't seem to see a break in the time, just hang on tight, the sun will rise again, and there's only brighter days ahead. And I know that it's coming, it's not far on the side, if you ride down the road to see the light. And when you feel the glow, look your head up high, just look out for that sign in the sky. Oh, when you've been working hard and you've been staying strong, but you still feel like life is stringing you along, and just hang on tight, the sun will shine again, and there's only brighter days ahead. Oh, I gonna shine again, and there's only brighter days ahead. Said there's only brighter days ahead. Said when the road is dark or can't see your way through, yeah, when everything's going wrong, just remember, yeah, only brighter days ahead.
Hello, this is Mount Corazon. Came here to share some poetry. Today's poem is called Thou Woman. I seek thou woman of unique, skin of chic, one who leads with a heart that gives me my spark, one who loves to live and is quick to give, to share the moments, to speak when spoken, one to form her own identity, walks gracefully, full of joy and laughter, can get through strife in any matter, walks with a smile, lives life worthwhile, holy in spirit, flies with merit, hand held tightly, giving praise to the Lord Almighty, not afraid to be wrong, for always trying to get along, mourns for death, gives life with her breath, cherished in the eyes, never tells lies, respected by many, has a heart of plenty, head held high, beauty out of sight, holds me when I'm in need, wants the both of us to succeed, pure in the heart, till death do us part, wants a family, gives me sanity, enjoys cooks meals, vegan diet which heals, guided by the Spirit, the love of God, she does not fear it, family oriented, conscious gifted, gives without expectation, her laughter is a sensation, speaks her mind in any fashion, enjoys deep conversation, carries herself with every blessing. This is my woman's confession. Thank you.